life.
Shows tonight at 7:30. Tickets
Wow, we
are
got Mello in here.
on sale now. World Cafe Live. That's
Real
Tommy
mellow.
Davidson, guys.
Wow.
Because even the beds you guys got here are funky. The musical bed for that company just never. Then I come in, it's like.
No, we love that.
Yeah,
That's really nice, man.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you.
You wanted to be a singer initially, right? That was that preceded any thoughts of comedy.
That's the start. With a spoon and with tinfoil on it, standing on the table.
Yeah.
With the family around.
Yeah.
And
was jazz always your sort of foundational go-to musically?
No. I can't really remember what I started with, but I started with everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I got into soul when I discovered I was black.
Yeah.
But before that, I grew up in Laramie, Wyoming, and Fort Collins, Colorado, on communes and stuff.
Yeah.
So it was like Iron Butterfly.
Like hippie communes?
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. Can I jump in here? Because I'm so curious about that.
Yeah.
I love a hippie band, right? Like they're like Grateful Dead and stuff like that. I'm so not enamored by because so sometimes I would come out of these concerts, right?
Okay.
And there would be these people who would hand you these flyers to come and live on these communes, and it seemed a little appealing to me. It really did.
You're the guy.
Yeah. I don't think I would push my 5-year-old there though. I saw a lot of stuff at the communes. I was like, okay, I ain't put together till way later.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, boy.
Right. But I was a young adult at the time. I was like 22, 23 years old, and trying to find my way, kind of lost in this world. Like a lot of young 20-year-olds are.
Well, you weren't. Hey, you had to go because that's where your family was. I was telling you, Tommy, off air that I just started jumping into your book, Living in Color. What's funny about me? And I was telling these guys last night, like, this is an amazing freaking life. And you made mention of the fact when you found out you were black, and explain how you came into this world when you were born. It's a brutal story that has now turned into something great. But
yeah. I was actually abandoned in the trash. In the year 1966. I was found.
Yeah.
So I was 2.
Yeah.
Maybe under 2.
Yeah.
Coma, starved, contusions in the head, the whole night. But my mother, who found me randomly in the trash.
It's just
it's
amazing.
So she was a white woman from Wyoming, and her and her husband were down there in Greenville, Mississippi.
Which is like one of the poorest
in the country. So they're teachers at Colorado State, and
right.
They heard Kennedy say, if you look back on this time in history, would you be able to be a white American that did something about the race problem?
Right.
So they wanted to do that. So they went down there and immunized kids and did that kind of stuff, and did voting drives. And they met my natural mom when they were doing those movements. They came back down there to pick up a program they were doing, and she was gone. And my mother's nosy.
Right.
She said she's gone. Well, where'd she go? And we think she went to Detroit, but she left her youngest baby at such and such a house. My mom is nosy and went to the house.
Right.
And the kids doing drugs in there, and it was an abandoned house. So she said something told me when I walked out the door to look under this big tire that was on the top of the trash, and I moved it, and your foot was there.
Oh my God! My God!
She said she moved the trash and had a torn shirt on and said, "I will be president in 2-0," and the rest was torn.
Wow.
It took me to the hospital. I stayed there 90 days. I lived, went to Fort Collins, Colorado, where I grew up until I was 5. Grew up on farms and meadows and
so all this
animals and
with her.
With her and my brother and my sister.
Yeah. Okay.
My sister's was my same age. So we're twins, really, but she's blonde.
You related something. You relate something. You relate something, and I saw also reading some interviews with you, and you brought up this point that I thought because you'd say, okay, cats can give birth to multiple colors, and
right.
And you just thought that was you.
I thought that was me.
Yeah.
Because I'm in farms and
yeah,
animals are everywhere. So we saw litters. Me and my kids his sister played with kittens and puppies and all the time. And, I noticed that, it could be a black cat. It would have a white one, speckled one.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 black ones, a brown one, or a horse. Could be it could be a brown horse and have a white coat.
Yeah.
So I thought that, that's how we are. You know what I mean? So I'm a brown one.
Right.
I'm a brown one of whatever we are.
It's such a pure,
You know what I mean? Yeah.
innocent concept.
Yeah, until we got to Washington, D.C.
How old were you then?
I was 5. And we moved in there in 68.
So you started like self-awareness around that age?
Oh,
5 or
way
6?
self-awareness, boy. We moved there the week that King got shot.
Right.
So we moved in during the riots. Me and my sister on the ground, me and my brother, tear gas, fires. So we settled in this inner city neighborhood in D.C. because they broke up,
Yeah.
And there's a lot of jobs in D.C. And we come out to play with the kids, and they beat our ass, man.
Wow.
Every day. Every day. And they were calling my brother and my sister White Cracker.
Uh-huh.
And calling me White Cracker Lover.
Because your mom was white.
Well, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I just went to her and said, why are they calling me White Cracker Lover? I like graham crackers. You know what I mean? Like,
They're better.
Yeah,
they
yeah.
taste better.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's so sad though when like
You know
the
what I mean?
innocence is ruined.
yeah, it's just like, so she said, well, that's what people our color call people. That's what people your color call people our color when they don't like them.
Yeah.
I was like, well, what color am I? She said, you're black. I said, no, I'm brown.
Yeah.
Right.
Like the crayons. She said, yeah, but that's what we call you. Anyway. And so then I moved out to it got so bad, we moved out to the suburbs of Wheaton, Maryland. That's the first time I heard the N-word.
Right.
I got the FCC note, by the way. Yeah.
So it got exponentially worse.
Yeah.
The suburbs,
that was
which you
worse
thought would
because
be.
I was being chased by grown men.
Yeah.
Saying kill
Yeah.
the Nick.
Yeah.
And I was barely getting in the house, and I'd be riding my bike, and a whole truckload of teenagers kill them.
Yeah.
So I was running in the house, barely making it. They were throwing stuff through the window, shooting, and it was crazy. So
This is late 60s?
this is 69 now.
Okay.
I remember everything,
Yeah.
So I go to my mom and I go, who are these ends? We got to stay
Yeah.
away from them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They must be really bad people.
Right.
Oh, geez.
And that's when she said, that's what our people call your people when they don't like them. Our color. And I said, well, what color are you? She said, I'm white. I said, you're not white, you're like beige.
Yeah.
Kids are so literal.
This is the stupidest damn thing in the world. You guys are mad at each other for colors you not really are.
But in that innocent thing, you're speaking absolute truth.
Yeah, it's like the dumbest thing, you
Yeah.
know, but it is the world. So we moved to an integrated neighborhood, and this is a real story, and I'm sticking with it. The white teenagers chased me again,
Yeah.
killed the neck.
Yeah.
But when the black teenagers came in front of me, the white teenagers went the other way.
Yeah.
And I've been black since that day.
Yeah. right.
And it's been an education.
Right.
Well, so you,
know what I
and
mean?
you became going back to the earlier point. That's when you became aware of yourself, and that's when you got into the soul music and things of that nature. You're exposed to that.
I pretty much came aware of it as soon as I got to D.C.
Okay.
Because when I got to D.C., my mom is always make friends with everybody.
Right.
So my mom had all these black friends right away. So and I think she did it on purpose.
To give you some culture.
She knew that I was talented, so she'd invite them over and put on James Brown.
Wow. Did she have any inclination towards this? Any musical capabilities or nothing?
My family is so far from music.
Yeah.
Cowboys from Wyoming.
Right.
But I was, spoiled by them. All the love I got, and I was the spoiled child. And so I'd sing "Say It Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud."
Yeah.
Just because it was a song. But when I got in first grade, I put up the Black Power fist, doing the
Pledge of Allegiance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
yeah, and I got in trouble, and
So you were making up for lost time.
hey, listen, my mom, she did it all on purpose.
Yeah.
This took me time to look back on it, but she came into that office, boy, and she looked at the principal and the teachers, and she was like, "What's wrong?" And they were like, "He put up the Black Power fist." She said, "So what? That's all he knows about himself right now. Now, if you want to teach him something new, teach him something new. He just learned the Pledge of Allegiance just like the other students. So teach him. That's what he knows about himself so far."
It's such a fascinating, unintentional experiment in a bizarre way. Not to call it an experiment, but it's something that is just and this is, by the way, let people know again. Living in Color. What's funny about me? It's just a side promotion, but I just started it. It's riveting.
Tommy, is your mom still alive?
No.
Okay.
No.
When did she pass?
She passed away probably about 12 years ago.
Okay. What an
But
amazing
still
woman.
alive, bro.
I would love
Still
to talk
alive.
to her. Yeah.
Well, she got to see a lot of your success, though.
I'm her greatest accomplishment.
Yeah.
I'm her greatest accomplishment. That's the sweet reunion is about her coming back to me through my daughter.
So who are your inspirations on the musical side? Obviously, we know the comedy. We're going to talk about the comedy. But
I'd have to just say the Association, Earth, Wind, and Fire, Grand Funk, Parliament, Rick James, Cameo, Fleetwood Mac, Kansas. Carry on my wayward son. It's all in me, man. The Led Zeppelin Kool-Aid commercial. You need Kool-Aid. You need Kool-Aid. I ain't fooling. Want a whole lot of Kool-Aid. All right. Peter Frampton. Do you feel like I do?
yeah, that's a wide exposure.
It's just, it all came my way, man.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool. So this show, that is tonight. What can we expect?
Expect the unexpected.
Yeah.
I'm mixing now music with comedy. The saxophonist I'm playing with is excellent. So I'm doing comedy and doing music at the same time.
So your history, obviously we know you from the skit comedy in Living Color and obviously the movies and the characters you've done and so on and so forth. But your stand-up career was pretty robust, and you got into the Comedy Store, Mitzi Shore.
You been reading.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And you were on a bill with Richard
I thought he
Pryor.
owned the Sixers.
Richard Pryor and Eddie Murphy, correct?
Yeah, when I first got in.
Wow.
So you're
finally got to the main room after 3 years of like hitting the pavement.
And the main room's where you wanted to ascend to the
that's
main
where you
room.
wanna be.
And so, be careful what you wish for. You end up on that bill, and you were middling for that.
Yep. And we all had the same time.
Explain what that was like. Give us a taste of that.
That was like
arguably the greatest comedic minds in stand-up of all time.
It was opportunity meets preparation and desperation. But I was ready.
Yeah.
I was ready. I'd been put through the fire. I was just about to go home from Hollywood. My mom sent me a couple of days earlier, those big legal pads that used to have the long yellow paper.
Yeah.
She put in magic marker. She folded up a $20 bill and put in magic marker, "Don't leave, and I know you need the $20." And it was just a couple of days before this happened.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And so I get on the stage, and I'm in between the two for 4 shows, and I got standing ovations, man.
Because the last thing, so I did stand up for a while. You would want to you'd want to be the MC, you'd want to be the opener, but you don't want to be anywhere near following one of those two. And yet you did. And Pryor himself kind of gave you a nice
Pryor
assessment.
came down to me, man. We were in a little hovel. The green room got the chicks and the food,
Right.
Ours looked like a closet. And he looked me up and down, shook his head, and looked me in the face. He said, "Man, you was a funny," and walked away.
God.
I called my mom. I was like, she said, "I told you not to leave." I told you not to leave,
Wow. That's so
that
cool.
was it. But I have faith in mankind.
Yeah.
It happened here in Philadelphia.
Okay.
Not the smack.
Yeah.
I wasn't there. A woman died at my show here.
Whoa.
Really?
Yes.
Huh.
And I have faith in mankind. I invited her.
Yeah.
So I went to a check cashing place on a Sunday to try to cash my check, and the place was closed. But there was still people in there. How they lock it, but there's
Right.
Just lock it behind you because we're closed and no one knows it. So the people saw me and were like, "Let him in." And I came in and I was in line, and the people were like, "You know who he is?" And she leaned over and she said, "Oh my God.
Yeah.
Hi, thanks for coming." I was like, "No, thanks for letting me in."
Yeah.
And so she's doing her stuff, and she said, "What are you doing in town?" And I said, "I'm doing a show." She said, "Oh man, wow, you have a show tonight? You made my whole birthday coming here." I said, "Why don't you come tonight?" She comes with her 2 kids, like 20, 22, 23 years old. 15 minutes into the show, massive heart attack.
Oh my God.
Whoa.
No one knows this though.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the team is working on him. We walk everybody out. You know, they say she's gone. I think people knew. But there wasn't a dryer in the house.
Yeah.
You know, nobody thought that was funny at all.
Right.
And, you know, we did another show. They left it on me. You know, you want to do another show? I said, yeah, we have to do it. Our job is happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Our job is happy. So we need to, you know, we're like a fireman. There's his fire.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ours is happy. So we did another show. But as people were going out nice and orderly, I mean, even the dishwashers were over there, you know, in the corner like, man, this black woman, beautiful, looks me right in the eyes. She says, isn't this beautiful? And I'm like, what are you talking about? She said, of all the things that God could have used to walk her up to heaven, he used your show. It could have been cancer,
Yeah.
car accident, shot, whatever. And I was like, that's now I know what Elton John's talking about. Philadelphia freedom, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
that's wild to think about that.
Yeah.
And it also, I'm sure it gives you an extra appreciation because it's inherently you want to, as a comedian or someone does anything with the music, you want to connect.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
And
you
comedy's
did.
always around because I was still feeling like, oh man, how could that happen to me? You know, what's going on?
Now I've got this.
You know, I saw
Yeah.
Smokey Robinson on the plane.
Yeah.
You know, comedy follows me to love me. You know what I mean? And I go to him and I go, hey, man, Smokey, has this ever happened to you? And I told him what happened. He said, nah, man, it's never happened to me, man. He said, but invite all your enemies to your next show because you killing them, baby.
Shut up. Oh, that's great.
I have to bring this up too because you had last night the Golden Globes. There was
Again.
a couple of Will Smith references. You had your own Will Smith encounter.
Yeah,
Explain what went down.
I'm almost something like Chris,
Yeah.
but it never happened, you know, and I'm glad it didn't. And I was really happy about what happened
Right.
for two reasons. One, I didn't have to feel guilty about what happened with me because he's such a great guy. Last thing I wanted to say was, hey, man, me and him almost got in a fight.
Right.
So that was a secret of mine, you know, and when that happened, I was happy that I was lifted off of that, you know, that it's not just me.
You didn't have the exact same experience. You had a tense thing, but that didn't manifest in a full thing.
Yeah,
right?
it'd have been a mutual smack or punch or something.
Right.
You know, yeah, it was going to that, and luckily Jada was there. You know, she was, hey, guys, and I was like, no, you tell him, you know, and
you were in I believe you were in a movie.
Yeah, with her.
And you kissed her in the movie.
I didn't find out what it was about until 18, 19 years later.
Wow.
I didn't even know why he
Did you find
that.
out from him?
Yeah, I
Okay.
did. Because in the book, I wrote it.
Yeah.
And then my author was like, you can't put this in here because you got to get the rights done for them.
Right.
So this was bothering me. I didn't know if that was the reason. You know, I did want to put it in the book. You know, and so I sent it to him.
Yeah.
And him and Jada wrote me an email back and said, it did really happen, man. Put it.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So he was kind of fuming.
I mean, he's just, you know, kind of human. you
Yeah.
know? So that's the second reason why I was happy.
Okay.
Because whatever that is, that fueled that energy that he came at me or Chris with, he's got an opportunity to deal with it
Right.
in one life.
And you
Now, how many of us have that opportunity to not only have success, you know, but then to have some internal success about growing.
We were just talking about that, about how you process, how you deal with those things that set you off, or those things that you and you talk about it. It's a large part of your existence is bettering yourself. How do I
Right.
become the best version of myself? And so you want to always hope that people have that, they can reclaim their better selves.
Yeah, and that, I mean, you know, and that it was great to see.
Yeah.
You know, I've been through my down the toilets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And through the love of people around me, you know, and a good universe, you know, pull through it.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's you know, we're in this place. We're in this place where we got reward systems and this, that, and the other thing, the things we reach for.
Did you have to learn that? It sounds like with your mother on your side early on, it sounds like you were getting a really good instruction on how to approach life. Or did you have weaker moments where you had become less than what you wanted to be?
Yeah, I went to Earth University with everybody.
Yeah, yeah.
I got a degree.
Yeah.
So there was times that was a problem, with them being white and me being black and stuff that we went through, and it's just the road.
Yeah.
It's the road we're on.
Tommy, what was it like achieving the success of In Living Color? Because that I'm always curious as to how fame and fortune affect individuals, and you've had an interesting life, and that In Living Color blew up. It was huge for a stretch, and so I'm curious as to how it affected you.
You know what? For one, the main thing is that I just got touched by a freaking angel.
Yeah.
To have that show in my life.
And did you know that at the time?
We knew.
Yeah.
We knew we were going to be touched by something because we were all the best at the time. So when we walked in the door and looked at each other, we said, "We're doing a show together."
Yeah, think of that cast.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like the X-Men meeting for the first time. What? It's like, you know what I mean? So it was that thing, and then come the changes of success.
Right.
We were like family. We go to lunch every day, dinner every day. And we didn't know anything about fame. I didn't think we couldn't have, because when it came, it was just like a freaking. Did you see the Blob?
Yes, sure. Both of them.
Yeah, it's just no getting away from it. From the vent.
Yeah.
It's hard to you can't shoot it. I mean, it's like it's nothing. You can't shoot it. You can't burn it.
Cold.
And it's coming at you nice and slow.
Yeah.
I'm taking my time. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like that thing, and so that's a surviving thing. That's the thing to survive.
You met Keenan at a party, or he'd come to see you. Saw you happened to be on set of a show you were on.
He saw me plenty of times when I was coming up.
Okay.
At the clubs.
We had him in the studio on his birthday a few years ago.
Okay,
it was a surprise.
Awesome.
60th birthday.
Oh, he's something else.
awesome.
Man.
Yep.
He's something else. And it was just he knew who was. He's the Dr. Xavier
Yeah.
of the whole thing.
He's Professor X.
He knew who the mutants were.
Yeah.
He just took us to the danger room. We got it all together and said, "Okay, now go get them."
Yeah.
We got too dangerous.
Oh yes. Yeah.
We got too dangerous. He would come. He said, "You guys can do whatever you want. And then if you have something, we can always do another take." And blah 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 blah. Boy, by the end of that season, it was like he would come in the room and go, "You man, hey, look at me, you guys. We're gonna get canceled, man. You cannot." We're laughing.
That's what always happens, though.
We're laughing.
Yeah.
How long was the run?
5 years.
5 years. It's
Seems like longer, right?
It was in my wheelhouse. It was one of those things that I never missed it every single week. And
Casey, it was the must quote. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
and having this job,
Radio was what made us.
Yeah.
having this job has allowed me to meet a lot of the stars of that show. So having you here, on multiple occasions is a huge honor for me. We've had David Allen Greer sit in that seat. Like you said, Keenan, Sean Marlon Wayans. We haven't had Jim Carrey in here yet.
Okay.
But
He's here.
What's that? Is he here?
Yeah.
Surprise!
He's on the roof crying. What are you crying about?
He's been a little emotionally.
He's on the roof crying right now. No, that's we were friends before In Living Color.
Yeah.
Yeah, our daughters are the same age. We were comic at the Comedy Store, so we do birthday parties and stuff like that. Now they're 35.
Yeah,
we knew each other back then, and then once the show came along, so we have a through line.
Yeah.
That came before it.
He and Damon Wayans are two that I would love to meet.
Yeah.
Love to meet those guys.
Yeah, I just we all just got really lucky.
Yeah.
No,
you didn't.
Like we can be.
Luck plus talent.
Yeah.
equals the
you
end
got to have
result.
both of them.
Yeah, you got to have both of them. But the thing is that I always try to give this advice. Never, what you see is always realize that there are people that can do exactly that, and there are there's a whole tremendous amount of people out there with extraordinary talent that you'll never know about because the break didn't happen for
That's
them.
right.
You know?
Yeah, except now there's YouTube and you can see them there.
Yeah. But, you know, it seems like the way of this thing we live on.
Yeah.
This blue thing we live on, you know. We could go to the grocery store and see like heaps and heaps of ice cream. You see trucks.
Yeah.
Mack trucks full of cookies and this, that, and the other thing. And, you know, I go to Djibouti, Africa, or Mexico, or somewhere like that, or even Detroit, you know, and people are under a bridge with, you know, a cracker.
Yeah.
And, you know what I mean? You know, so it's where we live, you know, and you know, I think the whole forever thing, you know, got kind of pulled.
Yeah.
Because we don't need to be here that long.
Yeah.
You know, we need to just do it right, and leave it up to eternity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, it's a very healthy attitude.
Yeah.
If you're just tuning in, it's Tommy Davidson who's going to be at World Cafe Live tonight. Tickets are on sale. You can get them at worldcafelive.com. It's funny music is the name of the show. How
People are going home. I thought that was Dr. Phil on there, man. Dr. Phil got a black accent all of a sudden.
How are you finding that the music and comedy live are playing together? Is it a nice you love the balance?
Yeah, it's a good balance, but there's two different art forms.
Yeah.
And they're
It's all about timing now.
Music, boy, I tell you, music is like a beautiful woman.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you know, you ain't gonna know what to do no matter what.
That's a great way to put it.
You ain't gonna know what to do no matter what.
It's an essential. We've talked on the show. Occasionally, you'll come across somebody who says, "I'm not into music." Like, there's nothing available to you that you can find that you enjoy, because it is literally it's what the station has been about for years, providing a soundtrack for people's lives.
I know.
You know.
I know. You know, hey, you know, like I said, we're on this blue chip now.
Yeah.
And just that little bit of the song we played, I heard a little, and that's all that I've heard of it, unfortunately. But I'll listen to it more. I heard almost a little Al Jarreau. Type of thing in
that's
there.
you know, this is a business, right?
Yeah.
And so, you know, I had to think strategy. You know, how am I going to enter into the music business? I wanted to do it in a genuine way.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to be able to come in here and do something that I could do really, really well for a certain audience.
Right.
Because the way that things are now, divided into social media and all of this stuff, you know, I'm somebody who can be eating a pickle on the porch couch
Yeah.
in Buffalo, can critique my album. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, it's like, you know what I mean? So I don't know if I want to subject myself. You know what I mean?
You got to impress the pickle guy.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. Never get a picture of the person that made the comment. You know what I mean? You know, I don't think Tommy Davidson's album is, you know, and you look and he's, you know, he's over a paint bucket. You know what I mean? You know, he's got a living room couch from the 70s on his porch. Right. You know, with kittens. You know what I mean? It's February. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? So
It sounds very specific.
Yeah, it's very specific.
Who knew he was a jazz fan?
Yeah, it's very specific. You know, I got that from when what was it, Amazon?
Yeah.
Or whatever, you know, went to do my book.
Yeah.
You know, and so they had comments, you know? And this is when I discovered that comments on social media is like the bathroom stall. Anybody can say something, everybody gets to read it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you're not going to go in the bathroom stall and go, let me write this number down. Let me quote that. You know what I mean? So all these comments were there, right? I love the book. This is great. You know, some of the stuff bothered me, but you know, all in all, this, that, and then there was one comment that said, you know, I really liked Tommy Davidson until I read the book.
Huh.
And I'm like, you know, Amazon, why'd you have to put that? Like the owner can go to the moon. Yeah. The owner can go to the moon on his own money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, why can't you leave out one bad thing that someone would say about it? That bad. I mean, there's no redeeming quality in none of that. That's just like I used to like him.
Yeah.
And now I don't like him because of the book. So it's like saying, I don't like him because of who he is.
Yeah.
Right.
I found out who he is in the book.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But you know, we talk about the joke, and it's the classic joke is you get 200 great reviews, and that one that stinks.
Yeah.
What?
I know.
Yeah.
But I know the real thing.
No, you know.
The real thing is, that person got loved
Yeah.
and don't know what it's like. But at least they got loved.
Yeah.
Because they got loved in one way or the other. Because they had to say it. They had to say it. So they read it.
Yeah.
I got a text on one of the past, as long as we do have to wrap up, unfortunately. But this person says,
Doggone it!
It says, Tommy's story is amazing. Thank him for being a beautiful human being, especially for what he went through.
Yeah.
So there's some great comments.
I will say that I used to like Tommy before this interview. Now I love him.
Yeah,
Now you love him.
same.
Now I
Thank
love
you,
him.
thank you, thank you. Looking out on my lonely room, day after.
Is that Badfinger?
Yeah.
It's a great song.
I'm going to get your book.
What was it? Who was that?
Oh, yes. Roundabout.
Now, you gonna change your ways.
Now I remember
Yes,
the
meet
last
Sammy
time.
Davis.
Now I remember the
That
last
was
time.
Sammy Davis Jr. doing yes.
I remember the last time we had you in, you immediately just launched into Philadelphia Freedom just like that. Before I even asked you one question.
Yeah, but I got a new Sammy verse. I got my eye, it's out. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
I love it.
Well, World Cafe live tonight.
Yeah, thank you. Now I got a new one.
Funny music with Tommy Davidson and Marcus Mitchell on sax. I wanted to mention him because you were talking
Really
about
good.
radio. So
Yeah, come out and have some fun.
listen,
I'll be there.
It's wonderful to see you. Thanks for coming through.
Thank you,
today.
man. You guys are still here. Like radio still exists.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
this
There you
is
go. It's for you.
You know what I mean?
this is Roundabout, by the way. It's got a long intro.
It does.
I would have gotten to it, but we got to take a break because we got to fit our
Shows
commercials in.
tonight.
Thank
We
you
know
so
what you
much.
mean.
Yeah.
WorldCafeLive.com to get tickets to see Tommy Davidson. ladies and gentlemen.